judges, and Mr. Redican. My partner Tao Tao and I are honored to have the opportunity to debate Robert and George regarding the topic of capitalism. We stand today at the cusp of a great change in our nation, the beginning of a new depression, the start of a new revolution. Men and women all across America find that the ideals of capitalism they believed in have abandoned them. Resolve that the federal government should significantly increase government control over American corporations. The following definitions are from dictionary.com. Significantly can be defined as sufficiently great or important. Increase can be defined as raise or make greater. Control can be defined as exercise restraint over. And finally, corporation can be defined as company. In other words, our resolution states, resolve that the federal government should exercise sufficiently greater restraint over American companies. This resolution reflects the change that is needed and wanted by the dissatisfied portion of our population. The recent Occupy movements clearly show the population's dissatisfaction in the federal government. Capitalism in the United States is starting to fail its citizens. The economy is on the decline, while debt and social inequality is on the rise. Obviously, this instability has come to the notice of all of America, and the 99% is taking action. They have many demands, many of which the government is incapable of doing. To fix this, the federal government must be given the power to regulate domestic commerce and manage corporations. Government control over corporations must be increased because it gives the government responsibility to serve the nation's people. The malcontent of the general population calls for it, and it will benefit the people. This socioeconomic inequality first started in the 19th century, during the Industrial Revolution. The advancement of technology had come at the cost of human labor, which fed the wealth of those in charge. Social critics criticized the excesses of poverty and inequality created by the Industrial Revolution and advocated reforms such as the egalitarian distribution of wealth and transformation of society into small communities in which there was no private property. These basic ideals have been used in much of Europe as a way of stabilizing the economy during the Great Depression. Now we stand watching the same pendulum swing again, with another possible depression and similar economic problems. There is a dire need for change as the economy is declining. According to Gallup.com, 51% of Americans describe current economic conditions as poor, while only 10% described it as good or excellent. Furthermore, 68% of Americans believe the economic outlook is getting worse, while only 27% believe it's getting better. Over half of America, that is, over 120 million Americans over the age of 18, believe the economy's future is not looking so good. This clearly shows the desperate situation we are in. Our economic system must be changed immediately to prevent further deterioration. By doing this, we not only stabilize the economy, but placate the American citizens calling for reform. My first contention is that the federal government must be given more control over corporations because it gives the government a proper responsibility to use that power. I say responsibility because the current status quo limits the government's power and thus gives Congress a reason to refuse to help the masses, as it should be doing. If the law doesn't specifically allow, the government won't take action. By giving the government more control over business, we bring the potential of action to the government. Now when we demand Congress to act, it has the power and responsibility to act. My second contention is that the malcontent of the general population calls for increased government control over corporations. According to the Pew Research Center, in 2010, 78% of Americans say they distrust, are discontent with, or are angry with the federal government. Also from the Pew Research Center, a minuscule 25% of Americans expressed a favorable opinion of Congress, down from 50% just last year. Clearly, the American public is not satisfied with the current status quo. The government must take action because it is in the best interest of the people. We see and hear about Americans gathering in the Occupy movements all around the nation to protest the social and economic inequality, unemployment, and other problems our nation faces. If this isn't incentive enough, what will spark government action? Economic collapse? If it comes to that, the government clearly has wrong priorities. The nation desperately requires change, and increasing their control over corporations will fix this. My third and final contention is that by increasing government control over corporations, the general population will also benefit. Our plan, which my partner Tao Tao will further elaborate on, will change the American economy into a mixed economy. Defined by dictionary.com, a mixed economy is an economy in which there are elements of both public and private enterprise. In other words, it is a compromise between a fully public and fully private enterprise, taking the advantages of each and combining them. A mixed economy would benefit the people more than either extreme form of economy. In a mixed economy, the people have more power. They have more voice when it comes to quality and prices of products and services. Mixed economy still allows competition. Private enterprise is still present, ensuring fair competition in the market. A mixed economy regulates prices. The government ensures that the products and services price don't exceed its actual price. This prevents overpricing that occurs quite frequently. As you can see, a mixed economy will greatly benefit our nation. To conclude, our nation is in a huge hole, and we must start digging ourselves out now. We must change our economy because the government must be given the responsibility to take action. The malcontent of the people demand it, and it is beneficial to our nation. This is a land of equality, and we all believe in the right to pursue happiness. But there is no equality when a single man's success lives on the failure of 100. Vote for true equality, vote for change, and hope for the future. Vote